Hey there! So apparently a lot of you really enjoyed the recent video I made talking about the counterbalance weapon mod in D2 and how it works. In the wake of that video, I surprisingly got a whole bunch of requests asking me to talk about the targeting adjuster weapon mod as well. I found that surprising because I didn't really think there were any secrets to the targeting adjuster mod, no tricks to how it worked. But then again, is anything really straightforward in Destiny? There is always going to be questions, I guess. I'm sure after today's video, there might be even more requests coming at me for other weapon mods or just weapon perks in general, and you know what? I'm fine with that. Hit me with all you've got. Give me any requests that you might have down below in the comment section. Today, let's take a look at the targeting adjuster mod and talk about how it works, both on controller and on mouse and keyboard. And I hope that actually answers more than one question, because every now and then I actually do get people asking me, hey, does targeting adjuster actually do anything for players on PC? Well, let's get to it. Targeting adjuster is one of the few go-to weapon mods that players can pretty easily rely on in D2. Usually when I have a brand new weapon that I've determined A, has a good roll, and B, I want to keep it and use it to plow people, I then decide what weapon mod to slap on it. If it's a pulse rifle or a fusion rifle, I decide if I need to hit it with a counterbalance mod or not. If it's a weapon that I may use frequently while jumping, like a spread shotgun, such as the Dust Rock Blues, I'll think about putting an Icarus grip mod on it. If it's a weapon where I'll hip fire more often than ADS, like a grenade launcher, I'll think about putting a freehand grip on it. Does the gun have a laughably low mag? Maybe put a backup mag on it. I pretty much go down a mental checklist. Is there a way I use this weapon naturally that can be made even better by a weapon mod? A complementary pairing, you know, like peanut butter and jelly, tomato and basil, or bread and DMG. Targeting adjuster falls under one of two categories for me. One, if it's a precision weapon and I like getting headshots, and two, I just don't know what other mod to put on the friggin' thing. It's the safety school of the weapon mod picks. It's the dish at your local restaurant you know you can always order and it won't be a bad meal. The description reads, this weapon gains better target acquisition. Bungie, of course, allergic to giving us numbers as always. I kinda get it though. The average player might not care about getting too much info to the point where it gets confusing. Oh well, not everyone in the community is a number-hungry weirdo like me. And you, to an extent, if you're on this channel. Anyway, according to my good friend Mercules, who if you don't know who that is by now, shame on you, as well as many other verified D2 data miners have confirmed that targeting adjuster gives you +5 aim assist on any weapon you put it on. Now, here is where things get interesting. I know, aim assist is sort of a word that a lot of people in the community know, but some folks might not understand completely. And hey, that's okay. I'm a firm believer of the no stupid questions mindset. I mean, unless it's do you want ranch or blue cheese with your wings? Because yeah, that's a stupid ass question. The answer is always blue cheese, don't at me. But outside of that, never shame someone for wanting to learn something. What's wrong with you? Aim assist, as far as I know, does two things. One of those things is something you may have heard before. It's commonly referred to as bullet magnetism. What the hell is that, you might wonder? Take a look at this. Here in my garage, just bought this new fallen dreg. It's fun to shoot at here on planet Nessus. Sorry, we're gonna use our dreg friend here to demonstrate bullet magnetism. First, take a gun and shoot it away from our friend at a nearby wall. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? The bullet hole on the wall goes exactly where we aimed the reticle every single time. Now, let's point the gun somewhat near our dreg friend's head and repeat. Check that out. This is a good visual example of bullet magnetism. As you can see, the bullets are curving towards the target, like that terrible movie with Angelina Jolie. The closer we get to a target with our crosshair, the more the bullets want to naturally bend towards the target. And of course, if you get really close to the target with your crosshair, the magnetism can get to the point where you're actually hitting the target for damage, even though you aren't exactly hovering over them immediately with your crosshair. And that's the power of bullet magnetism, baby. Much like I mentioned in the counterbalance video, aim assist isn't a stat you can openly view on your weapons in Destiny. You need a third-party app like Dim or Ishtar to view the aim assist on each gun. The higher aim assist you have, the better your bullet magnetism. Another thing that aim assist is responsible for, as far as we know, is reticle stickiness. This is when your crosshair starts to come in contact with an enemy in range, and your reticle kinda gravitates towards them naturally and sticks to them. You see that stickiness? The reticle wants to be on the target. The two of them belong together, and you're putting baby in a corner by trying to pull them apart. How hard your reticle sticks to your target is apparently determined by aim assist. I did mention earlier that we would talk about differences between controller and mouse and keyboard, right? Well, I'm a man of my word. For those of you out there who play D2 with a controller, both types of aim assists that I mentioned earlier come into play for you. Both bullet magnetism and reticle stickiness are at your fingertips. For the mouse and keyboard crew, slightly different story. You only get one of those two things, and that is bullet magnetism. Now, I've heard some people out and about on the Twitters talking about how people on PC get no aim assist at all. Again, technically not true, at least we don't think. Take a look at this footage, generously donated to the Fallout fam by a good friend of ours named CammyCakes. Maybe you've heard of him. At the moment, I don't play on PC yet. Hashtag cross-save, hashtag let's go. But in this clip, Cammy is using M&K with our mutual BFF Edgewalker to demonstrate bullet magnetism on PC. Just like controller, as you get closer to the target, the bullets will slowly Angelina Jolie their way towards the enemy. To reiterate, what the mouse and keyboard crew doesn't have access to is reticle stickiness. Shown here, our friend Cammy is slowly pulling his mouse downwards as our friend strafes back and forth across his reticle. Zero stickiness going on there. About as unsticky as a clean kitchen floor covered in lube. By the way, the reason he is pulling his crosshair down very slowly is that you have to have some kind of motion going on to get the reticle stickiness to activate. Jumping ahead, here is that exact same motion done with a controller. Now that's sticky. Spilled honey all over my cotton candy sticky. Jumping back to what fueled this entire discussion, targeting adjuster. What does it do? Gives you a flat +5 bonus to your weapon's aim assist value. If you're on a controller, that means you're gonna get slightly more reticle stickiness and bullet magnetism on your weapon. If you're on a mouse, you just get the extra bullet magnetism. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, that +5 might seem like a pretty small number. In fact, it's probably too small for me to show you visually just how much it gives you. But you know, something else I'm a firm believer in is every little bit helps. And what I mean by that is it's hard to think of a weapon that could not benefit from a little extra aim assist. In a game like Destiny, it's something that you really can't get enough of. It's like having too much chocolate cake. With that in mind, if you have a weapon that you're fond of and you don't know what else to smack onto it, why not targeting adjuster? If you were to ask me personally, my favorite weapons for targeting adjuster are hand cannons, sniper rifles, or even slug shotguns. Really any weapon that is designed for accuracy and headshot goodness. Pulse rifles are semi-accurate weapons, but if I have one that doesn't need a counterbalance mod, hell, slap a targeting adjuster mod on it. Easy peasy. I'd like to thank my good friend Cammy for sending over that hot M&K footage at my request. Link to his channel down low in the video description. I'd tell you about who he is, but I would be surprised if you didn't know who that guy was at this point. I can't wait to join him and a bunch of other people on PC when cross-save drops, but don't worry, I'll still be playing on console too. After all, it's where I do most of my streams and comp carries. Oh, what's that? You didn't know I did comp carries and streamed them? Well, you should head on over to twitch.tv/FalloutPlays to learn more. Flawless transition, nailed it. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you haven't already, please click on the red subscribe button down below if you think I have earned it, and give the video a like, because every time you do, your elo goes up by 1. If you want me to do any other future content on any specific topic, or weapon, or armor, subclass, literally anything at all, I like being open to suggestion. So hit me with your best ideas or anything that you're curious about down in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.